Good evening, everypony. I've decided that I'm going to start reading My Little Pony fan fiction. Now, this first one that I'm going to start off with, I know only as The Ending. The author is unknown, and if anyone would care to tell me if they do know, please leave it in the comments below. However, I still think it's a very good fanfic, and I would like to read it to you. So let's begin. Twilight is walking. Where she is going, she cannot tell. All sense of direction and means of accurate orientation have been lost since the ending. The ending came after the final battle with Discord so many weeks ago. Weeks? Perhaps months? Who can tell anymore? The purple mare decides that she's tired of walking and sits down to observe Ponyville. Or what's left of it, anyways. Colors had begun to leave a long time ago, leaving only the bare suggestion of shape whenever their absence is felt. Rarity's Carousel Boutique, once so vibrant, sits abandoned. Rarity is no more. The ending got her. She unraveled, slowly and excruciatingly. Like the threads of a sweater being pulled by some curious child. Spike stayed with her, and because he continued to hold her, the ending got him too. Spike, Twilight's tears began to flow once more. Her tears leave the magical bubble she's been using to protect herself, and they too begin to lose color. Then their shape begins to disintegrate. Then there are no more tears. It's okay. Twilight has more. Alone in Ponyville, she'll always have more tears. Standing, she decides to go visit Sweet Apple Acres. If she can find it, that is. Something that might have once been Rainbow Dash's home drifts by above. Poor Rainbow Dash. Nobody knows what happened to her. The weather began to pile up, and nobody was able to find her. Pinkie Pie was a train wreck. The ending got her too, in Sugar Cube Corner. She stayed there until the bitter end, baking cookies and cupcakes, smiling and laughing until she finally unraveled and disappeared. Mr. and Mrs. Cake were with her, and they could only shed a few tears before they weren't there anymore. Twilight doesn't know why she calls whatever is happening the ending. It just feels right. After that final battle with Discord, it seems as if a hill had been crested. As if all the energy of her world had started to run out. Like somebody had popped the balloon of her reality, and slowly, inexorably, the air was being let out. Sweet Apple Acres. She's here. No more trees to greet her, no more apples to eat. It's a wasteland of stark white hills, barely distinguishable against the blinding white sky. All the color left long ago. Along with the Apple family. They stayed on their land together. They even took Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle in with them after Rainbow and Rarity were gone. Applejack kept them distracted with stories. Stories of their past adventures. Stories of dreams to come. Twilight was there. and she tried hard to extend the bubble of protection around them all, but doing so only weakened it, and she began to unravel along with them. The feeling was indescribably horrific. She had to close the bubble in panic and watch as the Apple family, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle vanished. They were all hugging each other. Applejack never finished her story. Twilight is nearly unable to find her direction now, but she's certain she's walking towards Fluttershy's old home. Fluttershy. The most caring, empathetic, and kindest of all the ponies she'd ever known. The animals of their world seemed especially susceptible to the ending. Fluttershy nearly killed herself trying to rescue them all. But by the time the ending found her home, it was teeming with frightened, malnourished critters. She had so many she couldn't properly care for them all. When the ending began to chew its way into her home, her animals began to panic. They began to bite and claw at one another, crawl all over themselves to get away from it. Fluttershy did the only thing she could do in such a situation. She sang, "Hush now, quiet now. I swear this will not be the end." The animals stopped rioting and moved closer to that wonderful, gentle, kind voice. She continued to sing, even as the last critters were taken from her, even as the ending consumed her. Hush now, quiet now, crying, but continuing. Those beautiful eyes glazing over. We will meet again. And just like that, all of Twilight's friends were gone. Twilight began to make her way back to where she guessed the center of Ponyville used to be. Back to her home. If there was any place in the whole of Equestria she wanted to die, it would be there. That was the place of Pinkie Pie's first party in her honor, and it seemed most fitting as a place to die. No more books to shelve, no more letters to send, no more lessons to learn, no more friends to make. No more. There is no more. As Twilight sits down where she thinks the center of her home for years used to be. She is tired. So tired. Having held the bubble out against the ending for so long. Her head down, her mane limp, her eyes closed as tears roll down and float out. Gravity doesn't seem to be as strong anymore. The fundamental forces of her world are beginning to unravel. It's getting harder and harder to keep that bubble around her. Dear Princess Celestia. Princess Celestia is long gone. Today I learned that nothing good lasts forever. But, in a way, that's good. If good things lasted forever, we'd lose sight of their value. We'd come to take them for granted, and stop treating them with the care and love they deserve. She smiles softly. Now that it's coming to an end, I treasure the friendships I've made more than ever. Her horn stops glowing, and the bubble dissipates. She begins to end. She keeps speaking. Applejack, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash. It's up to her neck now. Spike. Her throat. My very best. Gone. And all was silent. Forevermore. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to this. This still stands out as one of my favorite fics, even if I don't know who the heck wrote it. And if you enjoyed or have any tips for me, please leave it in the comment. And I thank you for listening. Please have a wonderful night, and goodbye.